Okay, so right at the beginning of Delicious Yella, I made sweet potato brownies, and everyone was a bit surprised and confused by the vegetables in the brownie situation, which I don't disagree with as a thought process, but they turned out so well, and they ended up being like a kind of catalyst in the success of Delicious Yella. They went quite viral, and I've recently revisited them, remade them, and I wanted to share them with you guys today. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do is peel your sweet potatoes, and then we're going to cut them into chunks. And I would say really do measure out 500 grams for these rather than just using 2 sweet potatoes, because it does make a big difference. The smaller you cut them, the quicker they're going to cook, and then you're going to either boil or steam them for kind of somewhere between 15 and 30 minutes depending on how small they are, so just keep an eye on them, and you want to just cook them until they're really soft. So then while those are cooking, you can get on with starting the rest of the recipe. So you can just grind down your oats in a food processor until they basically form a flour, so they go really nice and fine. And then measure out your ground almonds as well. So then once the sweet potatoes have gone really nice and soft and you can kind of push them apart with a fork, then you want to remove them, strain them, and then you're going to add them to a food processor with the pitted dates. So blend that up, and you really do want a food processor for this, so not a blender, and you want to wait until you've got a kind of creamy, completely smooth mix, and then at that point you can add all the remaining ingredients. So we're going to add our flour, which is our ground oats and our ground almonds. And then we're going to add cacao powder. So you want about 6 tablespoons of cacao powder, but definitely try it once you've mixed it, and you can always add a bit more if you want it to be a bit richer. Our maple syrup, almond butter, a bit of baking powder, salt, and coconut oil. And with the coconut oil, you do need it to be melted. So if yours isn't soft already, then quickly just pop it in a pan, and then once it's melted, pour it in. So then the final thing we're going to add to the mix is our chickpea water. So we've been using this a lot in our recipes recently. It sounds weird, but it helps create that kind of egg consistency and create a real lightness. And then once everything's in there, just pop the lid on and blend it up. And again, you want to blend it until it's really, really, really nice and smooth. It might take a couple of minutes depending how strong your machine is. So then bring it over, and you want to line a baking dish. And I then love adding chunks of dark chocolate to it. It's completely optional, but they do melt into the mix and just like adds that extra sense of indulgence. So at this point, add that in and just stir it through. So then just transfer the mix from the food processor into your baking tray, and then add the chocolate at the top if you're going to do that, and then we're literally just going to pop it into the oven, and it's going to cook for kind of about 45 minutes or so. And then once you've done that, you're going to bring it out the oven and let it sit for like 10 minutes before you go near it, as hard as it is, and that's just going to let it finish setting and finish cooling. So that's how you make them. These are our new and improved sweet potato brownies. I've just drizzled some peanut butter over the top of these guys, which is heaven. Please do let me know if you try them. I know it sounds weird, but they taste amazing, and like you can see, they're so gooey and delicious. So happy baking and have a lovely day. Bye.